start the day heading to the ferry I chased yesterday and let it go. But today the ferry is only the beginning. Along the way I'll be told the road is hard and dangerous, and I'll be discouraged from going further. I'll even start to doubt if I should try. Will it really be that bad? Will I make it? And if I do, will it even be worth it?
I'm starting the day after camping with a nice view. If you want to see me trying to find that spot, check the previous video. The link will be at the end of this one. But now it's time to catch the ferry. Okay, I see the river and I think that's the ferry too. But for now, I'll focus on this road. It's a shelf road, narrow and winding, nothing hard, but I'd better keep my eyes on it. Yep, that's the ferry. Now I have to wait for the ferry to cross the river and come to my side. This is actually the first time I'll be using this type of ferry. I'm kind of excited. That was an interesting experience, and quick. I made a small mistake, waited in the wrong spot. The operator told me I should keep an eye on the stop sign next time. Lesson learned. Now that I've passed the ferry, let me make a few kilometers first. Then I'll tell you what the real goal of today's trip is. There are some nice views here. Now let's talk about the goal of today's trip. I'm heading to a nearby fire lookout. The maps rate its difficulty as a 5 out of 10. That's higher than anything I've tried. The hardest so far was only a 4 near Harrison Lake. The link to that video will be at the end of this one if you want to see how it went. But for today's trail, during the ferry ride, I was told it might not even be passable. Could be tough, maybe impossible to reach the top. I want to try, but honestly, I have second thoughts. Okay, the relaxing FSR-like part is behind us. Now it's time for the actual trail. At the trailhead, there was a board saying the road is dangerous, with tight turns and requires off-road experience. I'm not sure if my few months of riding the Jeep count as off-road experience, so I'm a little nervous. I still have in mind what I was told on the ferry, but let's give it a try. The road ahead looks wide for now, so if I see it's getting sketchy, I can turn back. Another sign again. I've never seen a trail with this many warnings. Is it really that bad? Okay, looks like this is the real start of the hard part. Let me switch into 4 low and focus on the road. Talk to you at the top, I hope. Okay, it doesn't look bad so far. Just a few ditches, some cross ditches here and there. Nothing difficult. I see some smaller loose rocks, a few turns from time to time, but nothing too tight. I'm pushing forward, and so far it still feels pretty easy. Looks like I'm close now. I can see the top ahead with just one last stretch to go. This part hasn't been bad at all, but I've heard the final bit is the most challenging with some really tight turns. Let's see if that can stop me. Yeah, we made it.
So I made it. The day started with the ferry I was supposed to take yesterday, and from there the ride toward today's real goal began. There were warning signs along the way, and I had doubts. I'm not gonna lie, I was really close to turning back and skipping this trail, but in the end I decided to take the challenge. The views at the top made it worth it. That wraps up my long weekend trip, but I'm sure this won't be my last time at a fire lookout. Now I want more. As I promised before, there will be 2 links on the screen, one to the first part of this trip and one to a challenging trail near Harrison Lake. Pick one and join me there.